Hi, adventurous families. I'm Amy Simpkins from StrollerPacking.com, and today we're going to talk about how to go through security with a baby. So as you can see over here, I've got my setup, or an approximation of what my setup normally is. We have an infant in an infant bucket car seat attached to a stroller. I have two carry-ons. My diaper bag is here in front. My computer bag, that is my bag, is here in the back, and it has a computer in it. For our purposes today, this is going to be the security conveyor belt. Imagine, if you will, that there is an x-ray machine at that end of the table. Imagine also that there is a belt that will move. So I'm going to have to do some sliding here that you may not have to do in a situation. And this is our bin for going through security. So, and by the way, this is Clara. She is my assistant today. She is grown out of the infant bucket, so unfortunately she cannot be my demonstrator. So instead we have Buddy, who Clara wants to play with. But we'll see if she can play with him at the very end. Okay, so you come up to the security checkpoint. You've already presented your boarding passes and your IDs, and you've gotten all checked out, and you're ready to go. The wind is blowing my bin away. Thank you, Clara. Very good assistant there. And now you are waiting for the people in front of you to put their stuff on the belt. There are a few things you can do here while you're waiting in line to prepare yourself to make it a little easier on yourself. So the first thing you're going to do is take off any jackets that you have on. And I just lay these across the handlebar of the stroller. Just let it sit there. Also, any adults are going to need to take their shoes off. Children don't need to take their shoes off up to a certain age. So we're going to, I'm going to take my shoes off and place them here on top. If you are wearing, you'll see a lot of tips that recommend that you wear slip-on shoes. I recommend wearing the shoes that are conducive to your packing scheme. So if I'm going to take my big hiking shoes and that's what I want to wear, I'm wear. If you do happen to wear tie shoes, make sure they're untied and loose and ready to just slip right on right at the end. That's the most important part. Not that you wear slip-on tie shoes, but that you can get them on easily at the end. So I'll set that here. If your baby's not all comfy cozy and asleep, you may also want to pull his blanket off and get it ready to go in a bin, because that's going to have to go through separately as well. Okay, now the last thing I recommend doing here is checking in your pockets and pulling out anything. You've got a cell phone, I have a pedometer, and putting those into a secure location. I'm going to zip them up here in my computer bag. I'm actually also going to leave my computer bag unzipped because I'm about to take my computer out. Now, if you have enough time and enough hands and enough capacity, you can also take your computer out at this point and not wait for get to the table. I'm going to wait till I get to the table because I'm a little overwhelmed right now, especially since my assistant is walking away with my bin. So, okay, it's our turn. I'm going to take the brake off here and slide up. Excuse me. Can I come through? Look out, Clara. Here we go. Beep, beep. All right. So we're going to pull your rig up. I recommend setting the brake just so you know that your guy isn't going to go rushing away. Everything that you just took out, shoes can go either on the belt by themselves or in a bin. You can throw in your blankets and your coat and shove it forward, ready to go through the bin. Now, you'll take your first carry-on bag off. You're gonna the scheme here is your extra stuff, then your bags, then we'll break down the stroller ladder. Baby is happy. He's sitting here in the stroller, and so he's just gonna be along for the ride while we do this. So here's our diaper bag. Now, you are allowed to take baby liquids through the security checkpoint. So if you happen to have a sippy of juice or formula or a bottle, all you have to do is take it out of the bag. It can be full, and set it inside your bin. Now, as it goes through, the TSA agent will see it, and they probably need to do a swab on it to make sure it's not anything nefarious, and then they'll come and bring it back to you. It only takes an extra minute, and honestly, you're probably going to take that extra minute to get all your stuff back together on the other side, so that's fine. If a TSA agent approaches you, he may ask for your baby liquids, and you can just answer him then. That's fine. So now we queue up our diaper bag. We've got my computer bag here. The computer has to come out and go in a separate bin, which I only brought one, so we're going to pretend that we have a separate bin. There. And I'm going to zip up my computer bag because I put those loose items in there and I don't want anything to fall out as it goes through security. Okay, now we're down to the stroller and the bucket and the baby. Now in the bucket here with the baby, my baby buddy here has his pacifier on. I recommend that you either take the pacifier off and put it in a bag with your cell phone and your small items before you get to the queue. Or you can take the pacifier, I usually clip it to their seat, so take it and make sure it's clipped to their shirt instead. The pacifier should not set off the metal detector, but the safest thing to do, as always, is to put it in your bags if your baby will let it go. So we want to keep the baby restrained as long as possible to give you free hands for as long as possible. So we're going to take the baby in the bucket, disconnected from the stroller, and set it down. He's happy. He's just along for the ride. He's watching. And now we're going to break down the stroller. In my case, I have a rather big stroller. If you keep reading Stroller Packing for any amount of time, you'll know that I do recommend the Bob Revolution as the ultimate travel stroller. And I'm writing an e-guide as to how to make it into the ultimate travel machine. And I'm going to recommend this specific product. So this is a Bob Revolution single. Now if you have a Bob, once you collapse it, you're going to want to send it through the x-ray, flipped over, and with the single wheel pointing back towards you. This is the way that it fits through the x-ray machine. It is a large stroller, and you're probably going to walk up to the security checkpoint and the security agent will say to you, "Is that going to fit?" And you can say with confidence, "Yes, sir, it will fit." It has not failed us. It just barely fits. It's almost like they designed it exactly to go through the x-ray machine. If you don't have this big of a stroller, this is not that big of a deal. You just collapse your stroller, fold it up, put it on the belt. I recommend putting it on the belt as far forward, so say my box over here, my bin of coats has already gone through the machine. So then I'm going to make a little wiggle room between my carry-on bags, and I'm going to put the stroller. So this is the first thing that comes out, or as close to the first thing that comes out on the other side as possible. And while you're doing this, you keep pushing the next thing into the machine. If you're traveling with a companion, a spouse, a parent, a grandparent, someone like that, you can have them be pushing your stuff into the machine as you break down your system. Okay, we're going to pretend the computer's in a bin, so I have a little more table space here. Now we are left with the baby and the bucket. You can leave the baby, take the baby out when it's sitting on the floor, or you can set it up on the table if it's a stable surface. Yeah, I know you want to play with Buddy. Just a minute. So now we take the baby out of the bucket, and the security agent, here, my assistant's going to hold the baby. Just a moment. There you go. Oh, there you go. The security will want it to go face down, like that, through the x-ray machine. Now, carrying your baby, which my assistant has taken away, you're going to guide all the rest of your things through the machine. If you're the last in your party, make sure you stay there with your stuff until you push it into the x-ray machine and you're sure it's going to go. At that point, you can go through the metal detector. You will never have to go through the AIT, the Advanced Imaging Technology, because you have a baby in your arms. So at some airports, your travel companion will also be able to go through the metal detector and bypass AIT. Just ask an agent and say, stays with me, and you know they'll wave you on through. At some airports, he will have to go through AIT, or you can opt out. We always do. So now you are ready to go through the metal detector and get your stuff on the other side. Okay, I have now come through the metal detector, and I'm on the other side, and now my stuff is coming out on the belt in the same order that I put it through in the beginning. Now hopefully you put your car seat as far to the front of your stuff as possible. I'm sure several things have come out already and you're waiting for the bucket, but try not to make the bucket the last thing in your entourage here. So we're going to take the seat off. The first thing we want to do is get the baby out of your arms. So take the bucket seat down, put it down on the floor. Generally TSA doesn't like to see you putting the bucket up on the ramp there where things are coming out, because they don't want the baby to get knocked off. So we're going to put the baby down in the carrier and restrain him. If your baby is calm, you can just do the chest clip and he'll stay right there. Clara is offering the baby a pacifier. That might be a good idea. Here's my second assistant, Andrew, coming outside to join us. Alright, so the next thing after you get your baby in the bucket is to get the stroller set up. Because the stroller is the foundation of your travel setup. Remember, it's upside down and backwards. So reach under for the handlebar, if it's a bob. Flip it over, and with the bob, you have one hand. That's our carry-on. That's our diaper bag. We're pretending that we're at the airport. With the bob, you just flip it out, and it's all set up, like so. We're pretending that we're flying. Once the stroller is set up, we can now put the baby in the bucket back on the stroller, and then go about collecting the rest of your belongings. Computer into computer bag. Infant liquids into diaper bag. Slip your shoes on. If you are in a rush, if you are have caught up at this point, I would wait to tie your shoes until you're out of the immediate area. This is a large contraption and it will block the progress of other people, so the idea is to get out of here as soon as possible. So I leave my shoes untied until I can get to somewhere to sit down, calm down, whatever. So we've got one bag on the front of the stroller, one bag hanging on the back of the stroller, blanket for baby, and coat, now that we're in the airport, stowed underneath. We're ready to hit the road. Everyone is okay. The last thing you want to do before you leave the security checkpoint is take an inventory of your items. I will admit to you that I have left items at security. So in this case, I had 2 carry-ons, 1 child, a stroller, and a bucket. So we've got 2 carry-ons, 1 child, a stroller, and a bucket. We've got our extra items. My small electronics are in the pocket. I take one last glance into the bin. It's empty, and we're good to go. I hope this was helpful to you for learning how to take a baby through security checkpoint. I know that a lot of people worry about that, their first time through.
Are we going to the airport?
We're not going to the airport today, buddy. But we're pretending that we're at the airport. I do recommend making a setup like this, maybe with a card table, maybe your kitchen table, and just going through how you're going to have your travel stuff set up. Just practice taking it all apart and putting it all back together. It'll make you feel a lot better, and it'll make things go a lot smoother on the day of travel. I hope your travels are wonderful, and thank you for watching today. Hey, go on over to strollerpacking.com, check out some of our other articles, and sign up for my e-newsletter for more updates on when neat products like this go live. And in the meantime, keep adventuring.